In the context of the extra attention for the release to service process, and in addition to the previous video about paragraphs A and B of the EASA regulation that deals with the release to service process, this video will focus on the following important paragraphs C, D, and E. Welcome to yet another video of certification of maintenance. Let's take a closer look at the text of Section C. New defects, or incomplete maintenance work orders, identified during the above maintenance, shall be brought to the attention of the aircraft operator, for the specific purpose of obtaining agreement to rectify such defects, or completing the missing elements of the maintenance work order. In the case where the aircraft operator declines to have such maintenance carried out under this point, point E is applicable. The first sentence in Part C refers to Part A in the last video. Here we focused on all ordered maintenance that has been carried out. This included the agreement of the operator on the assigned and open items, also known as the exemption list. The second sentence means that if the operator does not want you to carry out the open work, you may issue a release to service, but only within the approved aircraft limits. This shall be entered in the release to service document. Approved limits are limits mentioned in the dispatch deficiency guide, or given by the aircraft manufacturer in the form of an ETD, or any other form of approved maintenance data. Let's take a look at Part D. A certificate of release to service shall be issued after the required maintenance on a component whilst off the aircraft has been carried out. The Authorized Release Certificate EASA Form 1, referred to in Appendix 2 of Annex 1 Part M, constitutes the component certificate of release to service, except if otherwise specified in Point B of Point MA 502. When an organization maintains a component for its own use, an EASA Form 1 may not be necessary, depending upon the organization's internal release procedures, defined in the exposition. The sentence is quite clear, I suppose. What needs attention is the phrase, whilst off the aircraft. This is interesting because, off the aircraft, does not really cover the subject. By maintenance on components, off aircraft, it means that the part is processed by a shop, or the part is not fitted on the same aircraft before next flight. Then a release to service has to be issued. Don't let yourself carry away by the amount of references in this sentence. The release to service of a component is done via the issuing of a Form 1. Only authorized shop personnel are approved to issue such a form after maintenance on the component. The exception mentioned in MA 502 tell us that maintenance on a component on the aircraft does not require a Form 1, because this maintenance is covered by the line maintenance organization and not the shop. When an organization maintains a component for its own use, an EASA Form 1 may not be necessary depending upon the organization's internal release procedures, defined in the exposition. The sentence speaks for itself. However, for traceability purposes, the procedure as drafted in the Maintenance Organization exposition of the Regional Jet Center is to receive a Form 1 after every component maintenance instance. Finally, Section D. This section is already referred to at the end of the first part, Part C of this video, where we talked about a release to service, with items on the exemption list. By derogation to Point A, when the organization is unable to complete all maintenance ordered, it may issue a certificate of release to service within the approved aircraft limitations. The organization shall enter such fact in the aircraft certificate of release to service, before the issue of such certificate. It may be clear that circumstances, such as a shortened downtime, ensure not all maintenance can be carried out. A release to service may be provided, if compliant to the regulations. If this is the case, then the release to service documentation must refer to these open items before a release to service may be issued.
Thank you for watching.